Hello, everyone, and a warm welcome to Directions Live Online. My name is Atil. I am your host for today's webinar. You are joining us today for a webinar on analysis in ArcGIS Online Map Viewer. So, in this session, you will discover new functionalities of analysis tools, some of the tools migrated across from Classic in ArcGIS Online Map Viewer. This webinar also delivers the tips and tricks of how these tools help users unlock the power of data. Joining us today are Nabila and Alia, technology engineer in Esri, Malaysia. They provide technical assistance and consultations in the implementations of Esri's extensive product line. So let's get started with today's webinar. I'll pass this over to Nabila. Over to you, Nabila.
All right. Thank you, Zata, for the introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Nabila, and together with me today is my colleague Alia. So she'll be presenting on the demonstration of the analysis tools in the new map viewer. Okay. So before we get started, I just want to cover on the topics that we're going to go through today. We're going to learn together today. So we'll go first with the introduction to analysis tools in the map viewer, and then we're going to go through on the tools transition from map viewer classic to the map viewer, and type of analysis that we have in the map viewer, and also I will cover a bit about what's new in analysis tools, and we're going to have a Q&A session at the end of this session. So please, if you have any question, just send us in the Q&A box. Okay. All right. So starting for this year, Esri has come up with a new launch of the analysis tools in the map viewer. Okay, basically this analysis tool have been a long time appear in the analysis in the ArcGIS Online, but then it is only available in the map viewer classic. But now this year around, starting from February 2023, Esri has launched this new analysis tools in the new map viewer. So of course, it is hosted in the cloud by Esri. So you can use this analysis tool to explore, to analyze, to automate analysis through ArcGIS Online. So it does transform your data into action by mean that if you have a map, okay, so you just only can see the map and just have a quick glance of it. So if let's say you have a big amount of data in your map, so you do this analysis in order for you to see the trend, to understand the relationship between data and also the map, for example, right? And also we have the additional capabilities. If you want to use advanced analysis using this analysis tool, so we have additional experience for example, ArcGIS image for ArcGIS Online and also ArcGIS notebooks. Okay, so this ArcGIS image for ArcGIS Online, we focus more on the raster analysis. For example, if you have imagery, if you have a scan map, so you can use this ArcGIS image for ArcGIS Online. All right, so below down is the functionality of analysis tools that we have in the ArcGIS Online. Okay, you can, of course, this analysis tool is focused on the spatial analysis. Okay, you can do geoprocessing tools. Okay, you can summarize data. You can do heat map to see the density. Okay, suitability analysis. You can see the prone of which area of your to be like a hazard, for example. Okay, all right. So the next one, I focus on the analysis in the map viewer. We have two types of analysis in the map viewer. The first one is the feature analysis. So this feature analysis is focused more on the vector data source. For example, you have a point, you have a polygon, you have a line. So you can use feature analysis to run analysis on your data. For example, you can summarize features, you can measure distance, you can quantify spatial patterns, and so on. So the data supported for this feature analysis is the feature services, hosted feature services, sketch layer, and also tables. Okay. And the next one, we have a raster analysis. So this raster analysis is focused more on the raster data source. For example, you have an aerial photograph, satellite imagery, digital pictures, and also scan maps. Okay. And also we have a raster function to help our user to work or to have a more accurate output of our analysis in the raster analysis. So you can use this raster analysis to have a more or deep understanding of your data. For example, you can use to calculate vegetation index, you can use to find location and also land cover and so on. Okay, the data supported for this raster analysis is image services, hosted imagery layer, and deep learning package file. Okay, so if let's say you do not have your own deep learning package file, you can use our ready to use deep learning package file that we have in the ArcGIS Living Atlas. Okay, we do have a lot as for now. Okay, so if let's say you have your own, then you can just use your deep learning package file to run on your analysis on the raster analysis. Okay. So apart from these two type of feature analysis and raster analysis, we have for about 9 tools that are using to use in your feature analysis and also raster analysis. You can have a summarized data tools. Okay, for example, you can also have analysis pattern, use proximity tools, enrich data tools. For example, you can, for the enrich data tools, usually we can extract the data from ArcGIS Living Atlas as well. Okay, you can just take the data from the ArcGIS Living Atlas and you can run the analysis on top of ArcGIS Living Atlas data. Okay, so this is all the tools that later on Alia will show in her demo as well. Okay. Let's go straight away on the main features of the analysis tab that you will see in the new map viewer. Okay, we have the first one is the analysis tab, and also we have the tools tab, raster function tab, and history tab, and also analysis setting. So this history tab is a new one. Okay, if you see the interface also new compared to the classic version. Okay. So next we go to the tools transitioning interface between the classic version and also the new map viewer. So for the classic version, if you want to do analysis on the feature analysis, for example, so you need to click on the feature analysis and all of the tools that are referring to the feature analysis will appear. Okay, and if you want to go for the raster analysis, you need to go back and click on the raster analysis, then all the tools for the raster analysis will appear. Compared to the map viewer, if you just click in the tools, all of the functionality of the tools will appear for both feature analysis and also raster analysis. So how can we differentiate between raster analysis and also feature analysis? Is by the icon. Okay, as you can see here, the upper icon is representing feature analysis and the lower one represent the raster analysis. So everything is located at the same page, so it will be easier for you to find your data, to find your tools to run your analysis. So in terms of run analysis, okay, for Map Viewer Classic and Map Viewer, as you can see, the dot or the star, the red star at the right side for the map viewer, this is the required field that you need to fill in order for you to get more accurate data, more accurate output of your analysis compared to the map viewer classic where we don't have this kind of capability. So you tend to insert maybe a wrong type of data. Okay, so your analysis might be wrong, for example. So for this time around, we have improved a lot more in terms of accuracy of fill in your data in the required parameters. And also in terms of raster analysis, okay, raster function, we also have a different interface between the map viewer classic and also the map viewer that we have right now, the new map viewer. Okay, let's move on with the tools comparison. If let's say you want to have more, maybe before this you have used these analysis tools in the classic version, in the map viewer classic. So you might be wonder that maybe you use these certain tools, and when you look at back at the new map viewer, then you see that there is no same tools that you want to use. Okay, maybe because of the improvement from Esri, so we have renamed it. Okay, we have, or maybe the tools is actually not available, and we have replaced with a better tools for you to use in the new map viewer. So this is the tools comparison that we have in our documentation, Esri documentation. You can get it, you can just search for the tools comparison in the new map viewer, and you can have this functionality and also tools comparison that you have, right? Okay. So we have come out with a demonstration. So I shall pass the presentation to Alia to present on the interface and also tools introduction. So over to you, Alia.
Okay, thank you, Nabila. So for the first introduction, I will show on the analysis tools interface and also the tools introduction. So here I have this map viewer, and you can find the analysis tools at the right side of the map viewer. So you can go to the analysis tab here, and then it will show you this interface. So we have tools, raster functions, and also history. So let's go through the tools first. So first, in analysis tools, we have two types of analysis, which is feature analysis and also raster analysis. So you can filter the type that you want to use using this filter function. And the tools will be differentiated using icons, as you can see. And another way to search for your tools is using this search bar. So if you know the exact tools that you want to use, you can use the search bar to search for your tools. And the next one is raster function. So this raster function is actually a new update in June 2023 for ArcGIS Online and can be used for raster data only. And lastly, we have the history tab. So all your progress for your analysis, you can track here. And also if you want to rerun your analysis, you can also find the tools here. Okay, so for the next demonstration, I will show on the how to use the analysis tools. So in this demonstration, I will show for each analysis type and then the raster function that will be used. So let's go to feature analysis first. Okay, so right now I have this data where I have a layer, feature layer and also table, which I want to join them together. So in the analysis tab, I just open the tools and then search for join features, which is the type of tools that I want to use. And then I just fill in all the required parameters for this analysis. And then at the end, I will specify the output layer name after I run this analysis. So next, we can use this estimate credits to estimate the credits that we will consume by using this analysis. So after you run the analysis, you can track your progress in the history tab. So as I show here, you can see that the analysis is running. So after it's completed, it will show in the web map. Okay, so this is the output for the feature analysis. And next one, let's go to the raster analysis. So for this raster analysis, I have this raster data, which is a sea surface temperature. And I want to see the trend for the sea surface temperature. So I filter the analysis type to raster analysis and find the generate trend raster that tools that I want to use. And same as before, I just fill in the required parameters and also the output layer name that I want it to be. Okay, next, we can also estimate the credits that will be consumed for this analysis. So also same with before, after you run the analysis, you can see your progress in the history tab. So you can see your status for your analysis in this history tab. So now you can, this is the output for the raster analysis that I just did. So I think that's all for the demonstration now. I have another demonstration, which is for the analysis history. But before that, I'll pass it back to Nabila to talk on the analysis, what's new in analysis tools.
All right, thank you, Alia, for the very informative demonstration on the analysis tools that we have in a new map viewer. Okay, so I'm moving forward. Let's move forward into the next one, which is what's new in the analysis tools. Okay, so as for what I mentioned before, this analysis tool is actually available starting from the February 2023, and we have another update which is last month on June 2023. Okay, so this is the highlight of what's new that will be covered in the analysis tool. So the first one we're going to talk about history. This one I will cover on the next slides. Okay, we also have a big queries if you want to do the queries in the analysis tools. Okay, and raster function is one of the new tools that has been introduced in last month, which is June 2023. Okay, environment setting. Okay, join result as a hosted feature layer view, sketch layer, and also you can browse your layer directly from the analysis tools. Okay, so apart from all this, what's new, I'm going to talk a bit on the analysis history. So this analysis history is a new things, okay, that we don't have in the Map Viewer Classic, and we do have in this Map Viewer. Okay, so we use this analysis history to track analysis that runs in our web map. So what we can do, we can view the details, we can reopen the analysis, or if let's say we share this analysis to others, okay, we can troubleshoot the error. Maybe we run the analysis and it come out with a failure, for example. So we can just reopen the analysis, we can just troubleshoot the error, what are the type of error that occur, so on and so forth. Okay. So this history is safe if the user save the web map. So if you save the web map, then you want to share with others. Okay. So the history is follow along together with the web map as well. Okay, so of course we can share this analysis history. So what are the things that is being shared is include the input, the output, the parameter settings, the environment setting, the date of when analysis is running, when it finished, and also the period of the running analysis, and also the credit consumed, how much the credit has been consumed when you run certain analysis, and of course the ID, and also the analysis status is either is it successful, is it still running, or is it cancelled, or is it fail, for example. Okay, so this analysis history for me is very important for the user who has been used analysis tool in order for others to track on the what kind of analysis that you have run before for your data in your map viewer. Okay. Okay, so the next one I'll pass to Alia for the last demonstration, I guess, on the analysis history and how you can share your analysis to others. So with that, I shall pass to Alia. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Nabila. Okay, thank you, Nabila. So for this demonstration, as Nabila said, I will share on the analysis history and also the history collaboration. So first, let's look at the analysis history. So this is the data, the analysis that I've run before for feature analysis. And in the history tab, you can see there is a cancel analysis. So you can see if you open the details for this analysis, you can see when the analysis start and when it is cancelled, and also how long it takes to run the analysis. And also you can see the parameters that is used for the analysis. So I want to rerun the analysis. So I just open tools, and it will show all the parameters that is already filled before. And also I can estimate the credits, which will be the same because it is the same tools. So after I run, I can see the progress of the analysis in the same tab. So this is the output that I get. And then next one, what if I want to use the same tools but with different parameters? So I can go to the history tab and just open the tools that I want to use, and then change the parameters that I want to change. So for this one, I change the matching records to summarize data, and then I use the left join. So before this, it is inner join, and then I change it to left join, and then I specify the result layer name, the output layer, and then same as before, you can also estimate the credits. And after we run the analysis, it will show the progress in the same tab, in the history tab. So, okay, so now you can see the output of the data. And then next one, I'll share on the sharing collaboration. So I will be using the same web map, where I can go to the left side of the web map, and I can share my map to organization. And then it will prompt you to share the layers that are included in the map also. So you can just update sharing. And now the map is shared to organization. So now I log into a different account within the same organization to open the previous web map. So this is the web map that I did before. So when I open it, you can see that all the layers and the tables that is included in the web map is also shared together. And also you can see in the analysis history all the analysis that I've run from previous web map. So you can also open the details to see the details for each analysis, when it starts, when it is complete, and how long does the analysis take, and also the parameters that is used for the analysis. So I think that's all for the demonstration. I'll pass it back to Nabila to continue on the licensing requirement.
All right. Thank you, Alia, for the analysis history. So I guess it will be very beneficial for everybody who has used these analysis tools in order for you to share your analysis history to others. Okay. All right. So the next one, we're going to see on the requirement in order for you to use these analysis tools. So of course, you need to have the ArcGIS online subscription. Okay, so you need to have your credential in order for you to log in into ArcGIS Online and start to use these analysis tools. And for the user type, you need to have at least creator or also GIS professional. For the user role, it's either you can be a publisher, facilitator, or also administrator in order for you to run the analysis. And for the privilege, these analysis tools, we focus on the spatial analysis. And we also have the additional privilege required for the service-based analysis. And also, the most important thing that you need to make sure, you need to ensure that your organization have enough credits in order for you to run the analysis. Okay. So in terms of licensing requirement, there are some tools that are required for you to use the user type extension and also additional privilege. Not all, I would say not all, but maybe if you want to work with a raster, with imagery, with a scan map, for example, so you need to have ArcGIS image for ArcGIS Online. So if let's say you want to use a routing, for example, you want to find a location, so you need to have additional privilege, which is network analyst. Okay, so we need this additional for certain purpose. So it's depend on what analysis that you want to run in your ArcGIS Online. Okay, so this is the list of all the tools that I have collected. Okay, so you can see later on in the recording slides, okay, all of the tools that are required for extension and also additional privilege. All right, I guess this is the last slides from me, which is the roadmap. Okay, as I mentioned before, these analysis tools has been first launched in February 2023, early this year. So I guess Esri actually this year we have planned to improve a lot in terms of this analysis tool in the map viewer. So for the first launch, it has 22 existing tools for the map viewer classic. It's available, and then credit estimation, analysis history. So it has first introduced, and the second one, more tools has been introduced, and the raster function as well has been introduced in the June 2023, and we do expect for the feature release for Esri team to continue to add more tools and also functionality of the analysis tool in the map viewer. Okay, so that our user can have a lot of benefit by using these analysis tools in the map viewer. Okay, so with that, I think that's all from me and Alia. So I shall pass back to Zatel. So over to you, Zatel.
All right. Thank you, Nabila. That was really an informative sharing we had just now. So it is time now for us to review the questions from the audiences. We have a question from Lisa. So the question is, you did mention this analysis tool is using spatial analysis. Do I need to have spatial analysis extension in order for me to work with the analysis tool? So maybe I think one of you can answer this.
All right. Thank you for the question. So Lisa is asking for the, does she need to have a spatial analysis extension in order for her to use this analysis tool? So the answer is no. Okay. Basically, if you subscribe ArcGIS Online, you can directly using analysis tool without spatial analysis extension. Okay, because that spatial analysis extension usually we use for ArcGIS Pro. So for ArcGIS Online, we do not have any extension. Okay, you can directly just go and run your analysis. But as I said before, there are some privilege or there are some cases that you are need to subscribe or add a requirement. For example, ArcGIS image for ArcGIS Online, if you work with imagery, for example. Okay, so other than that, if you just want to do like summarize your data, join your features, do buffer, for example, do the terrain analysis, for example. So that one, you do not require to have a spatial analysis extension. You just need to directly open your analysis tab and run your analysis, just to be sure that you need to have enough credit in order for you to run your analysis. Okay, so I hope that's answer your question. Thank you.
Thank you, Nabila. So basically, you don't need to have spatial analysis extension in order for you to use the analysis tool in MapViewer, because extension is actually included in Pro, right? All right, I have a question from Zulaika. The question is it possible to combine multiple analysis tools to create more complex workflows, right? So I think Nabila or Alia, maybe you can answer this.
All right, thank you for the question. In order for you to combine multiple analysis tool, for you to create a more complex workflow, you can do that, but you need to do one by one. For example, you want to summarize your data. So you need to run the summarized data tools first, and after you get the output, you can run the output to another tools. Okay, if let's say you want to join the features of the output of the summarized data that you have run just now, so you can just use the output to run for another analysis for you to have a complex workflow. So you need to do one by one of the analysis tools in order for you to get or to create more complex workflow. Okay, so I hope that's answer the question. Thank you. Pass back to you, Zatil.
I think that's all the questions we can address for now. So with that, I'm going to end this session here. So stay tuned for the next webinar series by Esri Malaysia. And yeah, that's all. Goodbye and see you.